hate feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Nights with Ping. How are you all? Early show again, another early show. I hope you enjoyed Ping eating pumpkin pie for the first time yesterday. Mrs. Ping tried it last night. She is a much bigger fan of it than I am. I haven't tried it cold as of yet. It's in the fridge. I may try some later, cold rather than hot. I'm not a fan of it hot, but maybe cold would be good. Today, I have two stories for you. I have this story out of Laredo in Texas. A Texas A&M sophomore died on Saturday in Austin, Texas. They said she attended a tailgate. The local police, which is the Austin PD, are saying that there's no foul play that they can tell right now, but her mother believes there's something deeper going on here. There's some sort of collusion going on here, and I'll bring you more about that in a minute. I also just briefly want to touch on the big updates today. So if you've been following the Rebecca Park thing, I just want to touch on it very, very quickly. So they were arraigned now this morning, and there you go. There's a photo of them. Rebecca Park's biological mother and her stepfather, Brad. Now, Brad's got a hell of a history. We learnt that yesterday. He's got a lot of child charges, that we learnt about. The details that came out today are horrific. If you are sensitive to anything regarding children or pregnant women, I would advise you not to listen to any of the court coverage that came out today. If you just want to know what they've been charged with, there are charges available and they're less graphic. The stuff that was read out in court was, I would consider, pretty graphic. I would say that it shows that that poor woman, I don't even know how she died, but her final moments must have been absolute terror. Terror. To have someone you trust, this woman right here, attack you, abduct you, and then cut your unborn child out of your stomach. A person who's supposed to be your defender in this world. The person, your last line of defense in this world, is supposed to be your mum. And she's the one who committed this heinous act. They're saying that during this act, Rebecca died. And they're saying the baby died too. They said during this offending, the child died and it killed Rebecca too. So they're both dead. They don't know where the baby is. They're not sure. But yeah, you could imagine being stabbed in the abdomen region multiple times. It's catastrophic injury. It's catastrophic. And imagine if you're in hospital and you're having a surgery on your stomach. You'd have anesthetics and painkillers and stuff like that. Imagine somebody just does that to you without any of that, with a knife. It's horrific. It would be extremely painful. Her last moments had to have been just, I can't even imagine it. It's indescribable. It really is. No motive, I don't think, at least from my reading of what I'm waiting on getting the indictment. I've applied to get the indictment from the court. Unfortunately, when I woke up and learned that they'd been arraigned and all that, the court had already closed for the day. So I applied to their clerk, and I'm waiting to see if I can get those documents or not. But yeah, they were closed already for business for Tuesday. They were already gone. So we'll see if we can get them tomorrow, and I'll read you through them. But yeah, I don't think there's been a motive given. They've said very little in court. They really just tried to keep it as minimalistic as they could. They really did not want to give out very much, but they gave out a little bit of information about the murder scene, saying that Rebecca was dragged and pulled down onto her side, and then the act of killing her and the child was done while she was on the ground. Oy, oy, oy. I just it boggles my mind. I've read thousands of true crime stories every year, and then there's a few every year that really get to you, and you go, "Is this where we are, like, as a society, as people? This is what we do to each other," and this is one of them. Like, I can't understand why that would happen. I don't understand why you would wanna do that. Now, I've heard that apparently him and her wanted a child and that they were unable to have a child, and maybe they were trying to, in some misguided effort, trying to take their daughter's baby. I don't know if that's 100% true, and I don't know if that's a motive, but that's sort of what I heard. Um, Forson's mum said, "So where did they put the deceased baby?" I don't know. I don't think anyone knows right now. The cops are searching for it. Now, they raided their property, and on that search warrant, one of the things that they were looking for was a burial location. They were looking for a burial location, and I reckon it said on their fetus or human remains. So they were looking for a buried baby. So I'm guessing they think the child has been disposed of, and that was part of the search warrant before these two were arrested. Um, Gail said she probably would have shared the baby with her. Yeah, considering she's got other children, I mean, she would be very need a lot of help. So grandma and grandpa probably would have got a lot of time with the child anyway. I'm sort of glad that didn't happen because Brad, is a child offender. He's on the register and he has had multiple past convictions for CSAM, diddling with children. He is a bad guy. He is not a good person at all. He is a bad, bad guy. And I can't imagine him being around children. They wanted to sell it. I know that's been a big theory of a lot of people. A lot of people are saying that they wanted to sell it. Maybe. Where would you do such a thing? I don't know. Do you go down to the local corner store and sell the baby or something? I don't know how that works. Gail says I wouldn't let that monster near a child. Right. This guy's got multiple previous convictions, and they're not all at once either. They're sort of spread out. So this guy's got a history of doing this, not like a once off and he got caught up in something. No, no, no. He is a habitual offender against children. So, hey, Juicy Jules, what's up, my friend? Extreme pain trauma, you would go unconscious. I'm sure you would at some point, but the human body can take a lot of pain before it does that. It can take a lot of pain before you actually knock out. So, but I hope you're right because I hope that Rebecca was not, you know, awake for what happened to her and her child. It's awful. Gayla said they could have just waited a little as she was already in active labor, already dilated. She was well on her way to having a baby, well on her way. She would have had her child probably in the next week or so. Probably in the next week or so, she would have continued down the labor pipeline and would have ended up in hospital to give birth to the kid. So probably would have been less than a week. The fact that they decided to do this after she was already in that process is, I just don't get it. if you wanted to take the child, why not wait a week? Then you can kill the mum and take the child, and the kid is alive. It just shows you some people have minimal brain cells that commit these crimes. I don't know where they get these ideas from or where they get the plans from, but half the time they just don't think things through. They're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to kill your daughter, and we're going to cut the baby out and try and steal the baby. What kind of plan is this? What are you going to do? What are you going to do with the human you just cut and killed? I mean, people just. I'm surprised at how many people are killed, and the killings are the result of something really dumb. And this is one of them. Like, it's the most dumb plan I've ever heard of. And I don't think anyone's ever gotten away with this either. I was doing some research last night about previous cases where we've had what they call like fetal abduction. I don't think anyone's ever got away with it. They're always tracked down. They're always found um, very quickly too, like within a week or so. They always find out who got the kid or who killed the mum. So there you go. Yeah, it is very meth users. There is definitely some crystalline doing the rounds of this family. There is definitely a lot of little tiny baggies in these people's homes. More than one. More than one of these people were smoking the pipe, smoking the glass pipe, more than a few of them. So, yeah, there was definitely some crystal going over with multiple of these people. Very sad update. I hate it. I hate that this is what has happened. I just, you know, well, where do we go from here? Like, we can send them to jail. We can maybe even put them in front of a firing squad at some point, but it won't bring back Rebecca and it won't bring back the kid. And we'll all have to live with the memory of what happened to her. These guys we may have to never see again, which would be nice, but we still all have to remember what happened to that girl. And that's what hurts, is that, you know, we have to sort of know that this woman went through absolute extreme agony before she died. And again, like I said before, for no reason. There's no reason for any of this. Let her have her kid. Let her go be happy and be a mum. It's you know, selfish people, drug users, um, PDF file. They got the whole basket with these two. So that's your update. There's not been a lot. These two have been basically remanded into custody. Their bond is so high that they're not going to be. I don't think they'll be able to get out. 750,000 for one. Oh wait, is it? These two got remanded actually. Sorry, the other two were 750,000 and $1 million. That was Rebecca's sister and her partner. They got the $1 million and the 750,000. What did these two? I think these two got remanded. They got denied bail, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Held without bail due to the severity of the case. So they are not getting out of jail anytime soon. And that's a good thing. But yeah, they were saying here that if there was ever a case where circumstances justified a delay of any type, it's this one. This is as serious as it gets. It's as horrible as it gets to preserve the integrity of the case. That's what they said yesterday about delaying the arraignment. They wanted to delay it because they needed more time. But yeah, there you go. I can play you a tiny little bit from the hearing today. It's on here. Let me just fast
Two
forward.
family members.
Broken.
They forced her into a
All
Bartholomew.
right, I'm going to just play this like 30 seconds. And this is what was said in court today. Look at them. Look at him in his bloody jail cell. Look at him. He looks sad, but only sad because he got caught. That's it. All right, listen to this bit.
They brought Rebecca Park to their home. They forced her into a vehicle and took her into the woods where they stabbed her, forced her to lie on the ground while they cut her baby out of her, ultimately causing her death and the death of the baby.
The courtroom was filled with the same people who desperately searched for Rebecca after she was reported missing 1 month ago. And now, hearing the details that led to her death left many visibly distraught, the prosecutor asking the judge to leave no room for leniency.
This is as heinous and as awful a case as it could be. And I don't believe there are any circumstances in which Mr. Bartholomew should be granted any bond.
And if you notice, all the people that love and know Rebecca are sitting behind the bar here. And you'll notice that a few of them break down hearing these details. There's a lady, I don't know if you can see her. Where is she? There's a lady, maybe back here. There's a lady here in the green sweater behind here. And hearing the details about Rebecca, she absolutely breaks down and collapses onto her knees at hearing the details of what happened to her. A bunch of these people that are sitting here are either extended family and friends of Rebecca, or they are people who gave up their time and energy to go search for her for the last 2-3 weeks. And they're people that search through the woods and look for her, and sort of became a little group trying to be Rebecca's voice. And they're all there today to see what these two people on the screen here. They weren't even in court. They were in this screen. Look, there's one here, and there was another one, another box up the top for the other one, both at separate prisons. And yeah, they're remanded into custody. I don't think we're going to hear too much more from them. I think they're remanded for, I think it's until the new year. So we're probably not going to hear a lot until 2026. I think that's what they said anyway. Yeah, I think it's not. We're not going to hear from them for a while. So the offending is that serious. It's going to go through the court system. It's probably going to make its way up over the next year or so, 18 months, and then we'll go to trial. So awful update. I'll work on getting that indictment. Hopefully, I'll have it tomorrow. Unless they've put a hold on it, I don't know. We'll find out, and we'll go through it then. All right, I want to go to Texas. I want to talk about the story on the title. So, Texas A&M, we all know the university, very famous university. Now, this young girl is called Brianna. Her last name is Aguilera. And they're saying here that just before 1 a.m. on Saturday, November 29, they found her at a complex near the university. And they're saying they found her dead in the dorm, in the apartment, just dead. Now, I read a thing from the authorities today. They're saying they are waiting on an autopsy to find out what happened to Brianna. They're also saying that there was no obvious sign of foul play, but there was an interview with her mother, Brianna's mother, and her mom says she thinks something else is going on, that these other people that she lived with and knew and were around her at the time of the death had quite a long time to get their stories straight with each other. And she thinks there's a collusion going on between the last people to see Brianna alive. She thinks that they are lying about what happened to her daughter. And I can understand why she might think that. I don't know if it's true. I'm just reporting what her mum is telling people and saying online. Now, she posted online, her name is Stephanie, and she said, "This was not accidental. Someone killed my Brie and gave all the group of friends a lot of time to come up with the same story. My daughter would not jump 17 stories from a building and be labeled," she says, "and to be labeling this as an S word is insane. My daughter loved life and was excited to graduate and pursue her career in law. Austin PD and Detective Marshall is not doing his job. How is it that certain friends left immediately and that the person who was living at the apartment complex vacated her apartment as soon as possible?" So the mother is saying, and here's her post here on Facebook, that she does not believe this is an accident. She's saying that, yeah, collusion between parties that were there when her daughter was found dead. And she's saying that these people had far too much time to come up with a story about circumstances. They're saying that so they must be saying that she jumped off the building, 17 floors. And she's saying her daughter wasn't depressed, had just gone to a party that night, just gone to a party, an event earlier in the night. And she's saying she would not have done this. No signs of S word or depression, and that she doesn't think her Bree would do it. So, yeah, she was found on the sidewalk. Yes. So I don't know, but her mum seems very, very certain that this is not an accident. I'm trying to look at it logically. I mean, losing a child is always hard, no matter the circumstances, no matter if it is S word or it's a murder. It would be very difficult to have such a young girl like this be lost, right? It would be very difficult no matter what the cause and manner is. Sometimes when people are going through grief, they can't accept what has been told to them. So, I mean, I don't know what to think. But her mum's been messaging people, making these Facebook posts about her daughter. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, except for she seems very certain that there's not been a good investigation done about what happened to her child. They're saying that they're not expecting the autopsy and toxicology back for at least 4 months. So we're going to have to wait. What is it now? December? We're going to have to wait till March next year, March in 2026, to find out what happened to Brianna, because that's what the Austin PD are saying. They're saying not for at least a few months. Yeah, there is a GoFundMe here that her family has made. It has raised almost $40,000 so far. That's a good amount of money. And they're saying here, yeah, they say that she has passed away. She was pursuing her dream of becoming a lawyer and was attending school and Texas A&M. Her dream was always to be an Aggie, and she was shy. She was a year shy of attaining her Aggie ring. I don't know what that is. It's probably a graduation ring or something. They're saying here, on Friday, November 28th, Brianna attended the UT vs Texas A&M tailgate with friends at Austin. The details surrounding what happened next remain unclear, and her mother is still awaiting answers. So she went to the football game on Friday night, and oh, sorry, is it Friday night? Yeah, Friday night. So it would have been Friday night football, I'm guessing. And somehow, after the tailgate, was found on the pavement after falling 17 stories. That is a long way to fall, either deliberately or an accident. But the coroner so far, in a preliminary finding, is saying they believe it is deliberate. They're saying they believe her death was her and her actions. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they're saying. Here, I'm going to play you a video from Fox News here.
The mother of a Texas college student is searching for answers after her daughter was found dead near campus on Saturday. Nate Foy has the latest. Hi, Nate.
Hey, Dana, good morning. So the mother of 19-year-old Texas A&M student Brianna Aguilera says police told her inconsistent information about her daughter's death. She thinks there's more to the story. Stephanie Rodriguez told a local TV station that she called police on Friday when Aguilera didn't answer her phone after attending the Texas A&M football game at the University of Texas in Austin. Police reportedly told her she had to wait 24 hours to file a missing persons report. A Good Samaritan then found her daughter dead outside a campus apartment complex. That happened at 1 a.m. Saturday morning. The mom says police didn't tell her until 4 p.m. later that day. She says investigators told her that Aguilera died by suicide, falling 17 stories to her death. But her mother claims text messages show a fight between Aguilera and another girl in the hours leading up to her death. The family put out a statement that reads in part, quote, Brianna attended the UT versus Texas A&M tailgate with friends at Austin. The details surrounding what happened next remain unclear, and her mother is still awaiting answers. Now, the mother claims Aguilera wasn't suicidal and looked forward to becoming a lawyer after graduation, adding, quote, I've experienced every parent's worst fear, but I'm comforted by the knowledge that my Bree touched so many hearts. The medical examiner hasn't released the cause of her death quite yet, but right now Austin police confirmed they are not investigating this as a homicide. They tell Fox there are no indications of suspicious activity, but the investigation remains ongoing. We'll send it back to you, Dana.
All right, Nate, that's terrible news. Thank you.
You got it.
So,
The White House today launched.
stop. There we go. I want to hear what you guys have to say. You know, sometimes with grief, we hear, you know, people can't accept things. There's denial. I don't know if that's what's going on, but financial burden, law school costs a fortune. It is not cheap unless she was on a like scholarship or something. That is possible. Yeah, so there's your update on that one. I came across this story. I know we have a lot of people in Texas that like when we do stories out of Texas. Yeah, they said here officers responded to reports of an unconscious person at an apartment in the 2100 block of Rio Grande Street around 12:50 a.m. on Saturday. Aguilera was pronounced dead on the scene or deceased at the scene. And they say at this time, the incident is not being investigated as a homicide. There are no indications of suspicious circumstances, and that the cause of death will be determined by the Travis County Medical Examiner's Office. The investigation remains ongoing. And that they're saying here, her mother told KSAT that there was a fight between Aguilera and another girl before her daughter's death. She said, there was a fight that happened between my daughter and another girl. They were all staying in the same apartment. And she says, I have actual text messages of, and the detective just disregarded them. The mother told KGNS she became suspicious after she saw her daughter's phone was on Do Not Disturb. And she says, no one reached out to me. I was the one who had to place several calls to Austin PD because I couldn't locate her. What was weird to me and skeptical was her phone was on D&D. We always had this rule that if she was going to go out, she had to have her phone on location on, answer her text to at least let me know she was okay. That stopped happening around 6 p.m. So she's saying 6 p.m. that night, the daughter stopped replying to text messages. Yeah, let me see if I can take you to KGNS.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Bailey. A Laredo family travels hundreds of miles, demanding answers after their loved one is found dead following a tailgate party for the Texas A&M versus Texas game this past Friday. The mother of 19-year-old Brianna Aguilera speaking to KGNS just minutes after meeting with Austin police on what happened the day of November 28th. Our Alex Cano has more on the investigation, where it stands, and why the family is fighting back against the police's theory. Alex.
Setting up for the hardest day that it's probably going to be in my life, to put my daughter to rest.
At just 19 years old, Laredoan United High School graduate, Texas A&M student, and aspiring lawyer, Brianna Aguilera's life was cut short. On November 28th, Brianna was in Austin tailgating for the A&M versus UT game. Her mother, Stephanie Rodriguez, tried to get in touch with her daughter and Austin police hours before she was notified of Brianna's death.
No one reached out to me. I was the one that had to place several calls to Austin PD because I couldn't locate her. I knew where her location was at, but what was weird to me and skeptical was that her phone was on Do Not Disturb, and we always had this rule that she was going to go out, she had to have her phone on location on, and she was going to answer or text me at least just to let me know that she was okay. And so that stopped happening.
Austin police telling Stephanie 24 hours had to pass to file a missing persons report. The next morning, Saturday, November 29th, Stephanie says the phone was pinging at the same location as the day before.
Her phone was pinging by a creek, which scared me the most, which made me more scared. And that's when I started putting pressure on Austin PD into having a search team going to the area and search, for her because I couldn't locate her and none of her friends were answering.
Later that day, Stephanie receiving the heartbreaking news.
Until finally at 4 p.m. I get a call from an officer from Austin PD telling me that, my daughter was found in the morgue.
A bystander discovering Brianna. The heartbreak quickly turned into Stephanie demanding for more clarity into her daughter's death. After meeting with Austin police one-on-one, Stephanie spoke to KGNS on the meeting. She says Austin police believe Brianna fell intentionally, a claim Stephanie does not believe.
They were thinking that it was a suicide attempt or it was an accidental death. And that's what enraged me because I know my daughter. My daughter loved life. She was so close to graduating. We were going to order her Aguilera this next semester. She was really looking forward to taking her LSATs. She was looking forward to applying to law school. She had a 4.0 GPA at A&M. She was very studious.
Stephanie is asking anyone who knows what happened to her daughter to come forward with information.
To see her gone so soon and not have answers and not have anyone take accountability for what happened that night.
For KGNS News, Alex Cano.
According to KSAT, Austin police stated that Aguilera's death is not currently being investigated.
There you go. Not being investigated, currently investigated. Yeah, I saw it. Thank you. I replied to your email. Thank you. I appreciate it though. Thanks for the super chat. It's very kind. Hey James, what's up? University is the most dangerous time of women's lives on many levels. For a lot of young women, it seems to be. We hear about R-word and some murders and things like that, like a variety of different things that can happen to young people. But you heard her mum right there. She does not seem convinced that her daughter was likely to do what they're detailing, that she would jump off a 17-story building to her death. We'll have to keep an eye on this one, but it's concerning. The fact that she doesn't believe the friends and that the behavior was abnormal prior to it, there is a few strange things there, and that she says that the police would not take the evidence that she had or even look at it, which is a bit odd as well. Let me see here. So apparently the mother called police after her daughter did not answer her phone after Friday's game. She said she could see her daughter's phone pinging in the Austin area. Police officers told her she would have to wait 24 hours before filing a missing persons report. Yeah, a little bit. She's got a different photo. If I can go back to here. This is I think maybe possibly a newer photo of her. Right there. Right this way. There you go. There's a different photo of her. We will have to wait and see what happens, but they're saying between 3 and 4 months to get a complete autopsy report for her. Well, it's not the first time I've heard this. When that coach Travis went missing, his wife was also told she had to wait 24 hours. There was another missing woman last week too that went missing, and her family called the cops, and they were told 24 hours as well. So it seems at least some police departments are still citing the old, you have to wait 24 hours to report someone missing. I thought they got rid of it too, but maybe not. Maybe not. I'm just going to have a quick look. I just want to see if we can find something on here. I want to see if any of her friends from Texas A&M have been posting about her at all, and whether yeah, whether anything is odd. Let me see. Let's have a look. I don't see any of her friends posting about it, but I do see a lot of news in Texas that are posting about it, like a lot of local reporters. Let's have a look. A lot of people that knew her suggest that she wasn't depressed and wouldn't be inclined to commit this type of act. A lot of people saying that it wasn't within her to do it, but maybe she'd been drinking. Maybe it was accidental. I mean, people fall off things all the time. I don't see any posts from any of her friends, at least not on here. I don't see anything from any like college kids or anything, but they probably wouldn't be on Facebook. They'd probably be on like Snapchat or something. Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't see anything from anyone like that. All right, let me check one other place. Let's see if we can find anything. If anyone knows Bree and anyone like her mum, if her mum wants to talk more, if she wants to spread the word about her quest to get more answers, contact me sundaywithping@gmail.com, and I'd love to have you on the show to talk about Brianna. So if anyone out there that knows Bree wants to come and talk about what's going on, I would gladly have you on the show to let us know what you know. So who hid Danny's message? I don't know. Someone. What did Danny do? Was he telling people he was going to abduct people with his giant dog? He might. I reckon he may have done that. Let's see. Anything on here? There's nothing on here either. Yeah, it's weird. I just don't see a lot of information outside of a few local reporters and a few other sources. So we're gonna have to wait and see. Hold on, guys. Sorry, someone's messaging me. Um, all right, there we go. Yeah. So I don't see anything on here. If I find anything else out, I'll let you know. But I don't see anything else. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who would have hid Danny's message. Why? Why are they hiding Danny's message? Who would do this to him? I feel like he's being set up. He's being set up. I am not sure. I can't see it. On my side, I can't see anything about a message from Danny. in the streaming software, we can't see that type of thing. All right. All right. That's your update about Aguilera. If I what? Okay. So I opened the link that Kathy sent me, and it says this: you have been blocked from the New York Times because we suspect that you're a robot. Oh my god, I am a robot. I am the robots. I mean, they finally caught me. I have been blocked because they caught on that I am a robot. Um, okay. I've never seen that message before in my life. That's so funny. Why would you tell people such a thing? Do you expect the robots to comment back and tell you? They're like, oh, well, I am a robot. You caught me. Thanks for catching me. That is that is very silly. Where are we going? We're going to Salt Lake City in Utah. All right, I found another version of it. Here you go from Kathy Lynch. Is it very quiet?
Micah
Hold
Smith
on.
is facing 6 felony charges after investigators say he took his 3 young children to hike up Broads Fork Trail up Big Cottonwood Canyon, leading to serious injuries and a rescue.
The search and rescue folks, for them, this hike was a hard hike. This is not an easy hike. This is a one that even as trained professionals, they suffered injury trying to respond to it.
The indictment says Smith and his 3 kids, ages 2, 4, and 8, set out on the trail at 10 a.m. on October 11th. Investigators said Smith did not check the weather. They were caught in a storm several thousand feet up the mountain. The indictment says they took shelter through the night under a rock. Salt Lake County sheriffs got the call for search and rescue on October 12th. The indictment said once the team found Smith along the trail, they said he was acting odd and told them that one of his kids had died.
2 of the younger children who had fallen down and taken some head trauma, including one who had stopped breathing.
In an interview with the 8-year-old girl, investigators said she told them her dad pressed them to go on after she had said she was scared. As conditions deteriorated overnight, she said her dad taught her CPR to keep her brother alive.
Try to save her brother and to also to continue to go through that experience where she communicated fear and concern, and they were told to march on.
Investigators said Smith's wife sent him text messages urging him to get the children down from the mountain before dark, at one point texting him child endangerment. Search and rescue said the kids were not wearing much clothing. According to the indictment, a video from Smith's phone recorded one of his children asking if they were going to freeze to death. The 4-year-old is still in the hospital. Investigators said his body temperature when he arrived at the hospital was 62.6 degrees. They said he had a stroke requiring part of his skull to be removed and a drain to be placed.
This was something the children were afraid to do.
District Attorney Sim Gill said these are allegations at this time. 3 charges are child torture and 3 for abuse.
That they were going over rocks that were slipping. They were having to grab onto vegetation as they were trying to hike, as they were further going up.
Gill said the children are getting the medical care they need and Child Protective Services are aware of this case. The indictment says Smith was also arrested for domestic violence in the weeks after the incident.
After this incident on November 10th, the defendant was trespassed from Primary Children's Hospital for interfering with one of his child's care and tampering with that, allegedly with that equipment.
Smith has been booked into jail without bail. We reached out to his family for comment but haven't gotten a reply. In Salt Lake City, Avery Klonowski, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Muted. Sorry. Here we go. God, we're having a great day today. So there, he's being indicted. His children are wait, what? Age 2, 4, and 8. You tried to take them on a hike, and they're saying here the hike was so severe that professionals, like, that went and rescued them, got injured in the hike. Why would you take children to do that? They say 2 of the younger children had fallen down and had head trauma, including one who stopped breathing. Search and rescue had to go and find them. They say in an interview with the 8-year-old girl, investigators said she told them her dad pressed them to go on after she said she was scared. They say conditions had deteriorated overnight. She said her dad taught her CPR to keep her brother alive. To try save her brother and to also continue to go through that experience where she communicated fear and concern when they were told to march on by the father. They say Smith's wife sent him text messages urging him to get the children down from the mountain before dark, at one point texting him child endangerment. Search and rescue said the children were not wearing much clothing. According to the indictment, a video from his phone recorded one of his children asking if they were going to freeze to death. They say the 4-year-old is still in hospital. Investigators said his body temperature when he arrived at the hospital was 62.6 degrees. They said he had a stroke requiring part of his skull to be removed and a drain to be placed in his head. They're saying the other part that was really critical to us was that the children were afraid, psychological and emotional effects. I bet. What is this route? What is it called? Broads Fork up Big Cottonwood Canyon. All right. Where is this? Apparently it goes up to like 2,000 feet. All right. Broads Fork Trailhead. All right. Let's have a look. It does get like really hilly very quickly. Look. This is Broads Fork Trailhead, and it goes all the way up the mountain. It goes all the way up here. Look at this. And he took children up here. Look at the canyons and that below. And you took kids up into this region during a snowstorm. He deserves everything he gets. That is insane. Like, they were saying that even search and rescue wouldn't do that. Like, normally they wouldn't do that even for training. They wouldn't go up that way or to this location because it's so hard of a hike. If search and rescue don't like going there, you know you shouldn't go there yourself, yet alone with children. That is crazy. Look at the place. Beautiful place, but very dangerous. You can see like the cliffs and the canyons, and they got like lakes below. Look at this. When you take a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old up here. Why? Why? 2-year-old, 4-year-old, and an 8-year-old, and you took them up the face of a mountain like you're Arnold Schwarzenegger in Cliffhanger. Really? That guy should never be allowed around children ever again, and they should chop his nuts off so he never reproduces, because we don't need that kind of stupid in the world. And it would be a great way to sort of stop it here. So his line finishes. No more. Because we don't need that kind of stupidity replicating in society. He is an absolute nutbag. Absolute nutbag. Okay. Yeah, absolute nutcase. Really is. Chipmunk said, I think it's bad when people take their newborn baby to a hockey game. You see pucks flying into the stands. Had a little boy next to me get decked with a puck. Jeez. I mean, I think it's when you see people take their kids on aeroplanes, I get upset because I'm like, why are you taking a 1-year-old or a newborn baby on an aeroplane? It's like it's only ever for selfish reasons, like the parents want to go on holidays or something, and it's like you're affecting everyone on this aircraft because the baby's ears hurt from being on the airplane and the pressure. You're pissing off everyone around you, and the baby's not having a great time either. And it's all because you want to go somewhere. You don't have to go somewhere. You want to go somewhere. And, you're being a jerk. Wait till your kids are a little older. Can't stand people who travel with newborns. I don't get it. Like it's like chill out at home. Hang out at home. You don't need to go to Paris. Paris can wait. You can go to Paris for a holiday next year when the kid's a little older. Unless you're traveling home or something like that, I just don't get people who take their kids on long distance flights. I feel bad for the babies. Uh, uh, there you go. Yeah, you're going home though. You're going home. I reckon he might have a criminal past. I mean, what else has he done with children? The fact that he would take them up the side of a mountain. I think more questions need to be asked about this fella. Definitely. All right. Let me have a look here. I just got to do something. I've got to. Where is it? All right. There we go. Sorry. I keep getting emails and people wanting to know things. You gave him a bottle. He was good as gold. I mean, I've been on some flights where there's been kids and they are just screaming their poor little head off, and you're like, it's because the baby's ears are, they don't understand. Like babies don't understand why their ears are popping, and there's a pressure inside their head. And I reckon when the babies are little, the pressure is probably worse when you're little than as an adult because their heads are not fully formed and their skull's not fully solid yet. And oh yeah, I feel like the poor little kids are probably very discomforted being on a flight. So I always go like, can you just go to Paris next year when the kid's like 1 and is a little older, can walk on their own. Um, I hear morning says I took my kids to meet their aunt and grandpa. I got so many dirty looks. I took them to the doctor to check their ears, gave them Benadryl as prescribed by their pediatrician, and booked a late night flight. Um, You didn't get a peep out of them. That's good. Um, there's some that just go ballistic. I was on a flight next to a kid, unfortunately, and he was screaming through the entire flight. And the mom was just sitting there, like on her phone, like scrolling through her phone for 4 hours. Just didn't care that the kid was screaming, like not just crying, like all babies cry, like that's just a fact of life, but like ear piercingly screaming for like 4 hours. And I was like, how is this woman just sitting there on her phone scrolling through Instagram? I was impressed by her ability to ignore the child. Gayla said the actual flight was like being on a roller coaster due to turbulence, like our flight to Tasmania last year. God, that flight, I swear I thought I was going to die. That flight was terrible. Kathy said now you have to worry about sitting next to someone's pet. What? You can't have a pet on a flight. I don't think they do that here. I've never seen an animal on a flight. Maybe it's an American thing. They don't do that here. Gayla said both kids were fine, some adults weren't. Hey, You get on those flights with those alcohol, and they serve like beers and wines. I was so surprised. I was on a flight when we went to Tasmania, and the lady was coming around. She's like, "Wine, red wine, white wine, a beer." I was like, "It's 11 a.m. in the morning. What are you doing offering us alcohol?" She's like, "Do you want? We got a great cab from South Australia, and you can have it on the house." I'm like, "It's 11 a.m. in the morning. I don't want a red wine and 11 a.m. I haven't eaten breakfast and I've been stuck in an airport all morning." It was weird because the flight we took there, they're like, "Do you want a bottled water? That's all we have. We literally have a bottled water and a pack of like crackers. That's all you get." Flight on the return was a lot more fully stocked. Fully stocked flight. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I don't know. I don't drink on planes. Chipmunk says, "How about I have it on the plane, not the house?" Yeah, that you could do that too. Yeah, that was funny. They also gave us little chocolates. It was really close to Christmas time when we flew last year. So if you've been a subscriber of the channel, you would have known we went to Tasmania in December a year ago. On the flight back, they gave us these little chocolates, and one of them was in the shape of a koala. It was a Christmas chocolate, a koala wearing a Santa hat, and they were giving them out on the flight to people. So we took them home, and we had these Santa koala chocolates on the flight. Yeah. We're not going anywhere this year. I ain't flying after the year we've had this year. I literally cannot believe it's been a year since we went to the wedding. In 2 weeks' time, it'll be a year since we went. I cannot. I can't believe it. I can't believe a year's gone like that. Gone. It's crazy to me. It feels like just yesterday we were in Tasmania, going to the wedding and filming in the hotel and doing live shows at the hotel. Marjorie said, "It's not the kids, it's the parents. When my third was 5 weeks old, we moved from Atlanta to Tokyo." Oh my God. 14 hours nonstop. Baby slept fine. Me, not so much. I don't know. Some kids just have problems with the pressure. Kathy said, "If I was sitting next to a crying baby, there would definitely be alcohol involved." Yeah, there was no alcohol on that flight. Gail said, "All my friends go to the bar before flights, no matter what time of day." I don't. I don't drink on flights. I don't drink normally. So, Chipmunk says, "And you tucked in your pouch." I did. I tucked in my kangaroo pouch. That's what I did. All right. What do we got? It's 1:30. Oh, I give you an update in the Jody Hill trial. So I have been observing the trial. It was on this morning. They've just gone on break. Let me double check. Yeah, they're on break right now. They'll be back after lunch at 2:15. Today, we got to hear some phone calls. We got to hear phone calls. They were jail phone calls. So like when you are in prison and you can like put credit on your account and do like phone calls to people and things like that. We got to hear some phone calls in front of the jury today, and it was between Jody Hill and her boyfriend, her partner. She's got a couple of partners. Yeah, so we got to hear that this morning. I'm hoping to get access to that evidence, and if I do, I will bring it to you. I'll bring it to you. I will get it for you. All right. So it'll probably they're winding up now. I think prosecution is just about ready to close their case. It'll open up to the defense. The defense will get to do any evidence or call any witnesses that they want to do. And then it'll go into closing statements from the prosecution, then the defense, and then the judge will do her charge to the jury. So that is Justice Dixon. Justice Dixon is the justice in this particular case. That is her honor, and she is the one doing this particular trial. So I will apply for that evidence, and I hope to be able to show it to you. And there is some other evidence that we've seen throughout this trial that's been very enlightening. I think you will find it very interesting. So, SP Mama said, "These early lives keep catching me off guard, but I love them." I hope you all like the sign. How cool is the sign, right? that thing turned out amazing. It turned out great, right? Here, hold on. It turned out great, right? I think it turned out amazing. The guys who did the neon work for us just did a great job. They took our logo and they did some modifications to it, and they made that. They did a great job. So we have to make it a little higher, so it'll be above me here when we adjust it. But the chain is so long that it has to sit here right now. So it's going to go up above this chair. So when we're watching the live show, it'll be up here. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, because the chain's a bit long, so we have to we're gonna get a new chain that's shorter. So we have to do that. And we need to get an extension cord for the USB power because it's very, very small. And it's basically like I have to skip rope to get out of here at the moment. I have to skip rope because it's about knee high. So we have to get an extension cord for it as well. Yeah, so trial's been going good for Jody Hill. As soon as we're done, I'll start telling you the story. As soon as we get a verdict, I will tell you the story for Jody Hill and Mr. Hunter. Mr. Hunter is the victim. Um, it is alleged that Mr. Hunter's accused cut off his genitals post mortem. They have never been found. They also um, he also had pictures carved into his body, and he was damaged with a box cutter in his death. So yeah, very, very, very sad. Get a small power bank. No, I've got a USB hub here that we can use. So yeah, as soon as we get a verdict for it, I can show you and tell you a lot more. I have watched the majority of this trial, and I think we should tell Mr. Hunter's story and do it properly and give it to you like in one go and then tell you the story of what happened to Mr. Hunter and the sort of people involved, and there's many facets in this one. This one's a very different trial to Aaron Patterson. Aaron Patterson was a circumstantial type trial. This one has a murder scene. It has forensic evidence and blood splatter and DNA and fingerprints and murder weapons and all that type of thing. So it's more like a traditional murder case. So I think you will find it interesting when we get to do it. Gail said, "Why did I cross my legs when I'm female?" That poor guy. He also had his eyes cut out of his head with secateurs. So the accused is accused of cutting his eyes out of his head with gardening secateurs. So this guy's body was completely desecrated and abused. So he had a really rough death, a really rough death. But there's a lot of details that I need to bring you that will not explain why it happened, but it'll give you a better insight. Um, yeah, well, I would have thought cutting off his appendage would be too far. But yeah, they cut that off. They punctured his eyes and cut them out of his head. They drew pictures into his body with a box cutter, and then they carved him up with a box cutter as well. They believe most of it was post mortem. Some of it may have been peri mortem, but we're not sure. So yeah, I'll tell you more about it when we get out of the trial, when we get a verdict. Hold on, guys. All right, there we go. Yeah, as in whoever did it. So, secataire, it's like a handheld scissor thing that you cut and prune plants with. Yeah, I don't know when the names are going back to normal. That's a YouTube problem. That's a YouTube problem, not a ping problem. I have no idea. I have no idea why they did that or when that'll happen. Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, there we go. Um, you've never heard that word. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you what it is. Mm, there you go. This thing. There you go. These things. Sounds French. It sounds French. French for, I don't know, French for, what would it be French for? Tree cutter. Tree cutter, maybe. Gardening shears, is that what you call it? We call them secateurs. So, yeah. Pruners? Is that what you guys call them? Okay, they're not called that here. Um, hold on, guys. Okay. People keep emailing me like we're in business hours or something. It's crazy. All right. Okay. All right. I think that's about it for the early show, guys. I think I'm gonna let you go a little early because I've got to do a couple of things before the trial comes back at 2:15. What time is it? It's 1:39. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go for a little bit. But I'll be back for the late show. I I got one more story, and then I gotta go. Hold on. We'll go at 2 to give me 15 minutes. All right. Where is it? Where is it? Got a story out of Long Island that I want to bring to you. I want to take you to Facebook out of New York, if it'll play. It may not. Ah, come on. Okay, it's being stupid. All right, I'll have to find a different source. Give me a sec, guys. That one, like every time I click on it, it kept sending me to a different page. But it's a Long Island teen guns down ballerina ex-girlfriend. So it's his ex-girlfriend. Her name is Emily Finn. They say her 17-year-old boyfriend, or ex-boyfriend actually, shot her to death and then shot himself in the face. Shot himself in the face. It did not work though. And I'm gonna send you here. So her name's Emily Finn. There's a photo of her. They're saying a Long Island community is grieving the death of an 18-year-old called Emily Finn, a beloved ballerina whose warmth, talent, and leadership left a mark on nearly everyone who knew her. Police say tragedy unfolded when Finn, who was home from sunny Winoda for a holiday break, went to her home of her ex-boyfriend to return his belongings after a recent breakup. The 17-year-old uh, the 17-year-old, what are they saying here? The police say the tragedy unfolded when Finn, who was home, she went to her ex-boyfriend's place after the recent breakup. Yep. The 17-year-old boy, one day shy of his 18th birthday, allegedly fired 2 shots from a legally owned shotgun, killing Finn before shooting himself in the face. He survived and now faces charges in Finn's death. How dumb. Killed his ex-girlfriend, shot himself in the face thinking that was going to end it all. and instead he's going to be a disfigured person now going to have to go on trial for the crime he did, thinking he would get away with it in a murder S word. While Sonny Jim, you did not get away from it. And there's a photo of her there. There's a photo of Miss Finn. Terrible story out of Long Island. We don't do a ton of stories except for the Rex Heuermann. I don't do a ton out of Long Island, but what a terrible story. 17-year-old, one day shy of his 18th birthday, shot and killed her because they broke up. You know. Yeah, Long Island ballerina. It's horrible. It really is horrible.
And grandparents joining the Sayville community amid heartbreak and tears. Emily Finn, killed in a senseless act of botched murder-suicide, say police.
There's some photos of
Allegedly
her,
at the
by the
hands of her
way.
ex-boyfriend.
I can't believe this happened to her. She didn't deserve that.
Terrible.
I'm gonna miss her so much.
She came home from college Thanksgiving Eve and went to her ex-boyfriend's Wisconsin home to say goodbye and retrieve some of her belongings, say police, when she was shot. Emily posted Instagram photos of the two together months before the breakup. Police say he tried to take his own life but survived. Now age 18, he faces second-degree murder. Emily's loved.
He's facing second-degree murder charges over her death. I mean, is this what we're teaching young people? Shoot and kill your ex-girlfriend because, she broke up with you. Like, there's no other girls in the world that, she's the only girlfriend ever in life. I mean, we have to be teaching these people different types of lessons, I think. Very different types of lessons about the world, not about possession of women. It's crazy. Really, really sad story. I'm just trying to find. It's not what we want. No, here, news. Yeah, News 12.
And police say her ex-boyfriend is responsible. News 12's Jeremy Skiba has more on what happened.
Suffolk County Police say 18-year-old Emily Finn was visiting her 17-year-old ex-boyfriend on Wednesday morning to give him a few items after breaking up with him over the phone. They say the 17-year-old took out a shotgun and shot and killed Finn. He then shot himself but survived and was transported to a hospital.
There's no domestic history between the two of them. No 911 calls from this house regarding these two. They had broken up recently.
Robert Hennon lives a few doors down and said he didn't hear the shots. He says his son called him and let him know there was police activity in the neighborhood.
I heard nothing. I came outside. I took a look. I didn't see anything because there was no blockage at that point. I actually walked down there and loaded with cars, at least 20 cop cars.
Hennon says he was shocked to learn what transpired since he and his family know the 17-year-old that was arrested.
My grandson and he played basketball in their driveway before the bus came.
Homicide detectives say the parents were outside when the shooting happened and called 911. Residents say they are surprised something like this happened so close to home.
There's a lot of kids here. We have school right around the corner. Kind of shocked to hear that there was a shooting in our neighborhood. This is a pretty safe neighborhood, pretty safe area.
Police say the 17-year-old's name will not be shared due to his age and that he is facing a second-degree murder charge. In Wisconsin, Suffolk County, Jeremy Skiba, News 12.
There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm guessing that's what happened. He shot his face off. I mean, what else would you do if you turned a gun on your face? I mean, I think that's what would probably happen. Strange that even though he's one day shy from his birthday, like, why won't they name him? I know technically he's a child, but he sort of isn't. He's sort of bloody payment things. Here. There's a photo of her. Let me get this up on the screen. Yeah. Oh, we have to pay for your news. Go away. 17-year-old ex-boyfriend shot her to death. So he remains in hospital in a critical but stable condition. His name is Austin Lynch. Austin Lynch. Sorry, Kathy. Sorry, Kathy. He's got the same last name as you. Sorry about that. Yeah, Austin Lynch. So this is them here. If I can find it. I have a photo of the pair of them. I have a photo of them. There we go. God, our controls are not working well tonight for some reason. Open image. There we go. There we go. This is Austin and Miss Finn, and this is during happier days. I would suggest happier times for for the pair. That's him. He shot himself in the face, and now he's going to have to spend the rest of his life being a disfigured individual. Yeah, he's now 18, but I'm guessing, well, if they charged him the day after when he was 18, does that make him 18 at the crime, or is he 17 when he committed the crime? It's a little bit of a weird one because he's so close to 18, like one day. We need to teach young men how to identify and manage their emotions. Science has proven men have more and stronger emotions, but society teaches them not to acknowledge it. That sounds about right. Chipmunk says, sadly, too many have to. They have too much stress at home from parents. On average, kids don't stay together long, so it's sad on that part. A few months later, he could have felt totally different. Yeah, he could have felt totally different a few months later. Could have found a new girl to obsess over. But now she's gone and he's in hospital in a critical but stable condition after shooting himself in the head. And he's now going to have to, if he survives and gets out of hospital, he's now going to have to go on trial for killing someone he says he loves. It is a really stupid story. It really is. I hate these type of things. These very Romeo and Juliet type things. It doesn't make any sense to me. Let me see if I can find anything else about Mr. Lynch, Austin Lynch. Let's have a look. So there's another photo here from Law and Crime that they've been able to dig up of him. There's a photo of him with a weapon too, and there's her on the right. So, like I said, it was a legally obtained weapon that he used to shoot her. It wasn't like illegal, or he didn't steal it from anyone. It was his own weapon. So, hold on, guys. Okay. He will probably go to a mental hospital. I hope not, because it makes what he did seem less significant than it should be. The fact that if they do that for everyone, people would just be like, "Oh, I was suffering mental illness at the time," and there's no responsibility taken because they get to go sit in a hospital instead of actual jail. To shoot your ex-girlfriend, I don't think is mental illness. I think it's selfish. It's being possessive about women. It's a young man who, well, probably didn't know how to treat women. That's probably why she broke up with him, because she was sick of his crap, sick of his possession type behavior, and him not being able to deal with the rejection, decided to kill her. Kim said, my son is 20, had a long-time girlfriend over 5 years. They broke up due to her mental health. She died a few months later from a seizure. Wow, that's very tragic. Very, very tragic. All right. Let's get you out of here. I'll be back for the late show after Trish. So Trish has got a journalist on tonight. Hope you go and watch it. I'll be back for the late show after that. Yeah, it does sound like that. I'll find some more information while we're gone about about these two, and we'll revisit it on the Late Late Show. Hey, I hope you're liking the early shows. People requested them. People requested them. I hope this is what people want, and I hope they start showing up to the early shows, because that's what people kept writing in and telling me and leaving in the comments and stuff. We're doing them now, so I hope you like them. All right, I'll be back after Trish. Good night for now. Bye. By the way, thanks to Sean for the donation. Also, thanks to Jay for the super chat the other day. I missed it and I meant to talk about it yesterday and I forgot. But thank you to Jay. I appreciate it. Thanks to the people who support the channel. The ending video has to be wiped tomorrow because it is the 1st and 2nd and 3rd of December. So the ending video where everyone's name was on for November, it'll be wiped for December and we'll start again and we'll see who is very nice and generous to help out with the show in December. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye.